Okay, let's learn how we can apply our knowledge of Pythagoras theorem to solve problems, especially in word form. So the first problem there is the length of the diagonal of a rectangle is 13 cm. If the width of the rectangle is 5 cm, find the longer side. So I always like to, make this more graphical. So let's draw our rectangle. Let's say this is a rectangle we are talking about. So what's diagonal? Diagonal is a line that is drawn from one vertex, one point of a rectangle, to another point. So let's draw the diagonal. Is what we have. Okay, so from the question, they say the diagonal is what? 13 cm. So this will be 13 cm. The width of the rectangle, which is here, this is 5 cm. You also find the longer side. Let's call the longer side x. So remember, in a rectangle that the opposite sides are equal. So that's what we have. Do you recall that the angles in a rectangle are always 90 degrees, each of the angle? So each of these points we have 90 degrees. So I'm just going to bring out this triangle. All right, so we have something like this. This is what we have. So it's for simplicity. So you see, that's what we have there. And then this is our right angle. So let me put the right angle. Okay. So you see that this, our diagonal, which will now be the hypotenuse for this right angle triangle, is 13. This side is what? 5 cm. We can just call it the opposite, while we're looking for the adjacent side, which is x. So you see that the longer side of this rectangle would be the adjacent side in this triangle. So if we find it, we'll find the longer side. So we're going to use Pythagoras theorem to solve. So by Pythagoras theorem is telling us that the hypotenuse squared is equal to the opposite squared plus the adjacent squared. What's the hypotenuse? 13. So 13 squared must be equal to 5 squared plus x squared. So we can find x. 13 squared is 13 times 13, which is 169. 5 times 5 is 25, x squared. So collecting like terms, we have 169. Positive 25 is going to become negative when it crosses, is equal to x squared. So 169 minus 25 would be 144. So we have 144 is equal to x squared. So to get rid of the square, we just take the square root of both sides. So this will cancel. So we now have our x to be equal to the square root of 144. So the square root of 144, the square root of 144 is equal to what? 12. So we have 12 cm. So the longer side of this rectangle would be 12 cm. So that's how to use Pythagoras theorem to solve this type of problem. So let's check another question. So we have a question. It says a ladder 25 cm leans against a vertical wall. Right, so let's draw our wall. So this is our wall, upright like that. And then a ladder is leaning against the wall. So the ladder is leaning, meaning it's going to be slant like this. Right, so you want to climb. And then there must be our horizontal ground there. So you see that. You see, putting forth this image or the diagram is the first step to success if you are solving questions in mathematics and physics. Likewise. So that's what we have. So now, this ladder, how long is the ladder? From the question, the ladder is 25 cm long. So this is 25 cm. And it leans against a vertical wall. If the distance from the foot of the ladder, so this is the foot of the ladder, so the distance from there to the wall is 7 cm from the question. 7 cm. How high up the wall is the ladder? So we're looking for the distance from this point, to this point. So we can just call it y or anything. So let's go y. So that means we're looking for y. Alright, so we can use Pythagoras theorem again. The hypotenuse squared is equal to the opposite squared plus the adjacent squared. The hypotenuse is the side that is facing the right angle triangle. So we have 25 squared is equal to, now for this opposite squared and adjacent squared, it doesn't matter. I might want to say y squared plus 7 squared, or I say 7 squared plus y squared. It doesn't matter how you arrange it. It's the associative properties of addition, because 3 plus 5 is the same thing as 5 plus 3, so don't be scared. So let me just say y squared is y squared plus 7 squared. Okay, what's 25 squared? So let's just solve it here afterwards to get rid of it. 5 times 5 is 25. We have 5, carry 2. 5 times 2 is 10 plus the 2. We have 12. 2 times 5 is 10. 0 carry 1. 2 times 2, 4. Plus the 1 is 5. So if we add, we have 5 to 6. So 25 times 25 is giving us 5 to 6. What am I saying? 6 to 5, sorry. So we have 6 to 5 equal to y squared plus 7 squared is 49. 7 times 7 is 49. So now we're going to collect like terms. So we're going to move 49 the other side, since it's like term is 6 to 5. So we have 6 to 5. When it's crossing, it becomes negative now, equal to y squared. So 6 to 5 minus 49 is going to give us 576. So we have 576 equal to y squared. So to get y, just get rid of the square, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So if you take the square root of y squared, you have y, and then the square root of 576. So what's the square root of 576? Square root of 576 is 24. But most times, if you don't know this, when we have larger numbers, you don't know the square root, you can actually solve and find the square root. So let's learn how to do that. So we have 576. How to do is we are going to divide the 576 by prime numbers only that can go. So we are going to use 2, since 2 can divide. Any number that ends with an even number, 2 can divide it. So 2 into 5 is 2 remainder 1. Into 17 is 8 remainder 1. Right? Into 16 is 8 again. 2 into itself is 1. 2 into, that's 4, 4. 2 can go again. 2 into 1 cannot go, so you take 14. This is 14 is 7. Into 4 is 2. 2 can go again. 2 into 7 is 3. 3 remainder 1. It becomes 12. Now into 12 is 6. 2 can go again. 2 into 3 is 1 remainder 1. Into 16 is 8. 2 into 18 is 9. So you see 2 can go again. We enter 3. 3 into 9 is 3. 3 into itself is 1. So in square root, you're always going to take it in pairs. So this 2 will give us 1, 2, another 2, another 2, and then we have 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 8 times 3 is 24. So the square root of 576 is 24. It's 24 cm. So that was how high up the wall the ladder is going to reach, 24 cm. So that's it.